Hey everybody, Still Sexy Butch here. I'd like to do this video in response to one I just saw from Mainly Butch, titled Love Finding the One. I have a lot to say on this really because, well, after 58 years I've had a lot of experience with romance and relationships and well, marriage. Even though our marriage isn't legally recognized, it's still a marriage. I think that one thing I've noticed is that I think there are some people who really are not suited to be monogamous. Typically I think of a lot of the men that I've seen. It's hard for a lot of men to be monogamous. It really is. I don't know if it's in their genetics or what it is, but there are some that are successful, but a lot of men have a hard time with it, and I think a lot of women do too. Whether you're, gay or lesbian or bi or straight or whatever you consider yourself to be, monogamy is not always an easy thing. For some people, easier than others. I'm one of those people that is just what I would call naturally monogamous. I've just always grown up and lived my life with that feeling that I just wanted to be with one person. Now, there are other people out there who prefer to play around, who prefer to be polyamorous or whatever, which is fine, there's nothing wrong with that. I think where the trouble comes in is people who are not naturally monogamous, trying to force themselves to be monogamous because they think that's what they're supposed to do. There's this ideal that society puts out there, no matter what your sexual orientation is, that you're supposed to want to find that one special person and then settle down and spend the rest of your life with them and never go out with other people or have sex with other people or whatever, And like I said, for some of us, like me, that's fine because I just naturally gravitate that way. But I don't think everybody naturally gravitates towards monogamy. And I think if you don't, you shouldn't try to force yourself, And who is anybody to judge you if you just don't feel monogamous? Like I said, it comes naturally to some people and not to others. Now, I tried when I was younger, in my 20s, my first long-term relationship, which really only lasted a year. Well, she was bisexual, and I knew that. And at the time, I was gonna try to be more open, and I had a heterosexual married couple that were friends of mine that took me to a swingers club with them, and I thought I'd just try to, see what it's all about. And that's how they knew, her name was Valerie, that's how they knew Valerie, was through the swingers. And Valerie was divorced from her husband, and she had twin boys. So I thought, well, I'll give this a shot, So I tried to live with her and tried to be in that open relationship, and it just didn't work for me. I tried, and it just didn't work. That doesn't make her a bad person. It just means that that's the way she was, but I wasn't that way. And I gave it a shot just to see, and so that's when I knew I'm a one woman. I'm just I'm a monogamous person by nature, and so I stayed away from that kind of stuff. And it took me a long time. My God, I was 40 years old when I met Maggie, you know, and you know, that was 18 years ago. We've been together for 18 years. But no, I think some people are naturally monogamous and some people are naturally polyamorous, and you know, there's no right or wrong to either way. It's just the way some people are, this way or that way. I remember, you know, people have asked me sometimes, well, you know, how have you guys managed to stay together for 18 years, especially without being legally married? And I said, oh, you know, we've had our fights. And I remember several times early on in our relationship when we'd get in a fight and I'd get really mad and I'd walk out the door and start just like trucking down the street, you know, just like, you know. And then I remember this funny story that Paul Newman once told, I don't know, it was Johnny Carson or David Letterman, one of those guys, one of those talk show guys. They asked him how his marriage to Joanne Woodward had lasted so long. And he said, he's gotten so mad. He said he remembers one time when he threw all of his stuff in the car. He said, that's it, I'm leaving. And he threw all his stuff in the car and he drove off. He said he got a little ways down the road and he pulled over. And this is what Paul Newman said. He said, I pulled over and I thought to myself, where the hell am I going? And the same thing happened to me. I tried to take off on Maggie. As I stopped, I was like, where the hell am I going? And I turn around and go back, you know. It's not easy being in a monogamous relationship, you know. It's not easy being in a committed relationship. Some people just aren't cut out for it. They're not. They're just not. Whether they're men or women. Some people just aren't cut out to be in a monogamous long-term relationship. It's not an easy thing to do. And I don't know if being polyamorous is any easier, but certainly, you know, allows you to be freer in a lot of ways. But I'm just a natural-born monogamous person. I think you see the same kind of thing in nature. There are animals that are monogamous, that are, you know, mated to each other for their entire lifespans. And then there are other animals who, you know, when the urge hits them, they go do it, and then they part ways and maybe never see each other again, you know. It's the same with humans as it is with animals, you know. There are monogamous creatures and there are polyamorous creatures. So, you know, people are the same way. Well, that's just my take on the whole deal, and I hope it helps some people out there, you know. You don't have to follow what other people hold up as an ideal. If you feel more natural, you know, playing the field, then do it. If you feel more natural being monogamous, then you'll find that one special person that'll be the right person for you. And, you know, the trick is finding that other person that also wants to be monogamous. It doesn't work if you have one who's monogamous and the other one who isn't. That doesn't work, folks. So, I don't know, I met Maggie through a personal ad. So, that's always an avenue. And of course there are lots of dating things online. Even for, you know, gay people now, there are dating sites. So, but first you just have to decide, you know, who are you naturally? Naturally monogamous or naturally polyamorous? And then stick with it. you know? And for God's sake, don't try to rope somebody in who is different from you. If you're monogamous, don't try to get somebody who's polyamorous, and vice versa, you know, because it's just going to be destined to failure. Anyway, that's all I have to say about the subject, and I hope you all have a good day. And I don't know, I'm having a pretty good day. It's definitely fall here. I finally had to get the winter clothes out. The long sleeve shirts and sweaters and long pants and that sort of stuff. So, well, here we are. Summer is way, way in the rearview mirror. So, anyways, I hope you all have a good weekend, and until next time, this is Still Sexy Butch, and talk to you later. Bye.